Tonight, we all gather together to celebrate or to mark a very important event that happened 100 years ago. 100 years ago, it happened in Ottawa and in the Senate chamber where I'm working today. So I want to share with you all a lot of the story, and that's my colleague Senator Yap Pau and I are join hands together to mark this important 100-year anniversary of Chinese Immigration Act, and which is also called the Chinese Exclusion Act. And this is an act that stopped Chinese immigrants coming over from China until 1947. And that was in between, there was so much thing happening, and I just want to share with you on some of the important key points. And the Chinese Immigration Act was the first piece of Chinese legislation, Canadian legislation, to restrict immigration based solely on ethnicity. It began with the Chinese Immigration Act of 1885, in which a head tax of $50 was charged to newcomers and the Chinese descendant. In 1900, the head tax was increased to $100, and in 1903, it was $500. The head tax was repealed in 1923 when the Canadian government amended the Chinese Immigration Act and completely banned immigrants from China until 1947. The head tax was in effect of a total 38 years. Can you imagine that? 38 years. During the time, around 82,000 Chinese immigrants paid about 23 million in tax to the Canadian government. 23 million in those days. You multiply yourself, how much it costs today? During this dark time of our nation's history, these laws impose a head tax and strict regulation to deter Chinese newcomers to Canada. The Chinese Immigration Act perpetuated racism against Asian ethnicity. Chinese people were not allowed to vote, practice medicine or law, hold public office, own crown land, seek employment on public works, and many more restrictions. The act also impacted Chinese family life, as many Chinese men could not afford to have their wife and family to Canada from China. Chinese family became fractured and indebted, and poverty was rampant in this community. On June 22nd, 2006, the Conservative Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Stephen Harper, apologized in the House of Commons for the head tax. The Government of Canada also pledged to fund community and national recognition programs and repay those who impacted by the head tax. As PM Harper said during his apologies 16 years ago, we have the collective responsibility to build a country based firmly on the notion of equality of opportunity, regardless of one race or ethnic origin. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that we must remember. as for the next 100 years, our grandchildren, our children, our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, we want to make sure that, they are all living in a country as Canada was a country promoting multiculturalism and diversity. So we must remember that. That is why you and I choose to come to this beautiful country because of the diversity, the culture. And at today's geopolitical reason, my friends, we got to wake up. We got to remember whatever happened 100 years ago, it should not happen again. And that is not for you and me, for our grandchildren, for all the Canadians, for everyone. It happened to us, it could happen to any race of this. And another thing I want to quickly tell you, please support the Foreign Country Influence Transparency Act registry. That is very important. The government now having a consultation. This consultation for every one of you, any race, to feedback to the government. And this consultation, it will go on until July 13th. So there is Senator Yan Pao Wu, an independent senator. I'm a conservative senator. And then we got a sponsor for the petition on E4392, which is very important, that is now being started circulating, and they are probably about tonight, I think probably over 1,000 people have signed that petition. So you are very important. Please help that this petition is to have government, create a better legislation. Legislation is not clear, it's going to affect all of us. Anyone, or it to be a fair legislation, to be fair to every country. Every country should be included, and not just a particular country and a particular region and a particular ethnic group, which is very dangerous. So please, we are now having by petition that will go on and to collect signatures for the government. It's a consultation. So do not be afraid to sign for it. It's all private and confidential. We are now, last 2 days, I was in Ottawa with Senator Wu and MP Chandra Rayat. We make video clip, different type of video clip. It's going to come on and tell people to support. It's not for you and me, again, for our grandchildren, everybody. And what happened now in the US is getting dangerous. It should not be coming to Canada. So I want to thank you. Watch out for all the clip that's coming, and please support. Very important. Your signature is a consultation, and it's also a duty of any citizen to sign and voice out your concern.